Dear students, today we will do a very simple and interesting theorem that is called Kelvin's circulation theorem, which is again the part of rotational motion. This is Kelvin's circulation theorem. This theorem tells it about the nature of circulation under certain circumstances. So what are the circumstances or what are the conditions? These are: number one, in an ideal and homogeneous fluid. Actually, ideal and homogeneous fluid is considered everywhere in this chapter, so I am not writing it again and again, but in each and every theorem you should give that in an ideal and homogeneous fluid. Number one, external forces are conservative. I have told you about what is the meaning of conservativeness of external forces. Are conservative and derivable from a single valued, here it is important, single valued force potential function. You know it very well that if I say that the flow is irrotational, then we consider curl of Q to be 0, and that implies that there exists a velocity potential function. And here, when the forces are conservative, then there exists a force potential function. That means potential function regarding the velocity is different than the potential function regarding the force. So in this case, forces are conservative, and therefore there will exist a force potential function which is necessarily single valued. This is important here. We'll use it later. So I'll mention it as condition 1 because I'll use it. Second condition is that density is a function of pressure only. That means it is a barotropic fluid. Density is a function of pressure only. So this is second condition. Then Kelvin's circulation theorem says that circulation in any closed curve it should be circulation around any closed curve. Then circulation around any closed curve moving with the fluid is constant all the time. As I told you earlier, that this Kelvin's circulation theorem associate or finds the nature of circulation under certain circumstances. So it says that if your fluid is ideal, if it is homogeneous, if density is a function of pressure only, that means it is a barotropic fluid, then if the external forces are conservative and these are derivable from a single valued velocity potential function, then Kelvin's circulation theorem says that circulation, that means gamma, is constant for all the time. This is what we want to prove. Okay. Now, how will we proceed? Here we are mentioning one thing, that moving with the fluid. It simply means that whatever flow region is considered bounded by the closed curve will remain the same. It will consist of the same fluid element as it moves in the flow region. So this is the meaning of this moving with the fluid. Okay. Now, first of all, first condition implies that there exists a force potential function say V, such that your force F may be written as gradient of V. This we have discussed many times in earlier lectures. And then circulation is defined as Q dot dr. It is a line integral around the circuit C, closed circuit C. Now this implies d gamma dt. It is the material rate of change of gamma, because we have to prove the constancy of gamma with respect to time as well as with respect to space. So d gamma dt will be d dt of C q dot dr. Now the importance of this moving with the fluid arrives here, because the C is made up of the same fluid element. Fluid elements are not changing. It simply means that the variations d dt, this operator indicating the variations, may be interchanged with the integral. There will be no effect on integral with respect to C, because C is composed of the same fluid element. So I can enter d dt inside C d dt q dot dr. This is under condition this 2a, under 2a. Okay, so gamma is d dt of q and dr as such, plus q as such and d dt of dr. Again this is dq dt, because I will handle the second integral, integral q dot. If I exchange the two, d and d dt, so it will be d of material derivative of r. And what is material derivative of r? It is again q. So I am left with q dot dq, in which this is as such, and this can be written as d of q square by 2. Now what is its value? This is the perfect integral. This is the perfect derivative of q square by 2. So it may be integrated easily, and after integration we will get q square by 2 along this closed curve. It is in square, so positive. So what will be the value along the closed curve? Its value will be 0. This is very simple to verify. So we are left only with this integral. Gamma is this gamma. We are left with gamma is equal to integral dq dt dr. Now what I do, I think it is 4. For this dq dt, for ideal homogeneous fluid, for ideal homogeneous fluid, equation of motion. Do you remember who gave this equation of motion? This was given by Euler. So it is Euler's equation of motion for the ideal homogeneous fluid. It says that dq dt is minus 1 by rho delta p plus f. I may use the value of f. So this is 1 upon rho delta p plus, minus delta v, as I defined earlier, or dq dt dot dr. I am doing the dot product with dr, delta p dr minus delta v dr. Now this is dq dt dot dr is equal to minus 1 upon rho. Now what is this? This will be dp. What is this? This will be dv. dv means derivative of v. Delta v dr will be derivative of v only. Now integrate dq dt dr along a line integral for the closed curve C minus dp by rho along C minus dv. We know that v is a single valued function. It is the derivative of v. So after integration you will get v. v along the closed curve. Initial point and the last point are same and it is single valued. So it will have the same value at that point. So what will be its value here? It will be 0. Similarly, when rho is a function of pressure only, and this is the derivative with respect to the line x with respect to length. So integral of dp will again be p, and as it is around the closed curve, so initial and the last point are same, so p will have the same value, and so this will again be 0. So we are left with gamma is equal to, d gamma dt is equal to 0, because this was from 4, this was d gamma. This is d gamma dt, this is d gamma dt is 0, which implies gamma is equal to constant. It simply means whatever is the value of gamma at one stage will remain the same throughout the flow region under the conditions mentioned in Kelvin's circulation theorem. So as you see that in this whole theorem we have not used any phi. That means we have not used about rotational or rotational type of flow. It simply means that this theorem is valid for every type of flow. The only condition is that forces should be conservative and density should be a function of pressure only. This theorem is valid for every type of flow subjected to the conditions mentioned in the beginning. This is for you only. You should know this, because you may be asked that Kelvin circulation theorem, whether the Kelvin circulation theorem is valid for irrotational flow. Yes, it is valid. Is it valid for rotational flow? Yes, it is valid. But we have used, whatever we have used here is for ideal homogeneous fluid. So condition is fluid should be ideal, fluid should be homogeneous, and the forces should be conservative, and pressure should be a single valued function depending, density should be depending upon the pressure only. So these are certain conditions under which Stokes theorem is, Kelvin's circulation theorem is valid. So thank you for this lecture.